Hi, this is Jake.
Hey, it's Roger.
This is Eric.
This is Nathan with Of the Earth, and this is Waupaca Local Live.
Why don't you just stop? Why don't you just stop? Oh. What was accomplished is broken in haze, with the thought of just one more taste. And welcome back, old devil. Sing the angel on my shoulder away, pressurizing, and shadows become so crystal clear. Addiction to stone veins and fear, where minutes crawl to hours, and the hours fall to years. And where do you think you are going when I am bound right here? If this sickness continues growing, will I give up on being strong? I can't believe my eyes, mirroring my demise. These chemicals I despise, they unhinge my Why don't you just stop? Oh, possession, I couldn't possibly hear your call in the torrent of this demon call. As I stop, stare, and listen, the shadows on the wall, all promises are torn apart and laid to waste. But I swear this is my last taste. Come back, old devil. Chase the angel on my shoulder. Hey, wait! And where do you think you are going when I am bound right here? If the sickness continues growing, will I give up on being strong? And I can't believe my eyes. shadows on the wall. You stop staring, listen to the shadows on the wall. You stop staring, listen to the shadows on the wall. You stop staring, listen to the shadows on the wall. To the shadows on the wall. To the shadows on the wall. Here we go again. Ooh, I can't believe their cries, echoing my demise. It's these chemicals I despise, but I swear I tried. I swear I tried. I swear I tried.
I'm Wes Powers with the lovely and talented
Merci beaucoup.
Marcy. We got a hell of a show today.
Do. This is epic.
Yeah, you know, it's our first metal guest. It's our fourth show. Wondering how this goes. It's gonna go excellent.
Excellent.
Suck cut.
We have the one and only of the Earth tonight with
I'm Jake on drums. Nathan
on
voices.
Voices.
Eric on bass.
All right, Marcy, you want to start things off? You
Sure.
want to start asking questions?
Absolutely. Welcome, you guys. We're really happy to have you here. We're full of questions, and you know, I don't know what I should say, but I don't want to say I'm old because I don't feel old. But you know, honestly, I'm a musician, and I never really quite got into heavy metal. I think the closest I really got was Led Zeppelin, and
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
well, and
Their
you
origins.
know, Jethro Tull.
Oh yeah.
So-
Hell yeah.
I know there's more levels, and I think this is what I'd like to ask. Okay, my burning platform question is, you know, heavy metal is sort of it's not the mainstream, right? Which is good. But what is it that makes you want to play heavy metal? Now, of course, you're playing kind of an unplugged version tonight, which is a little easier for a mainstream listener to hear. And I understand the energy of really just wailing, and you're part of the music. And that's my version of what it's about. And I just wanted to hear from you guys what is the energy of heavy metal, and why do you stick with it so religiously?
We're just passionate about it.
Yeah,
It's a good outlet.
It's a positive outlet for aggression. It's an aggressive genre. It's
aggressive.
about mosh pits. It's about expressing yourself, your individuality. And
Okay.
very cathartic.
What's the biggest
Cathartic?
misconception about heavy metal and its music and its
Oh,
artists?
that's easy. That it's like violent. You know,
Right.
that the crowds are
Right.
violent. I mean, if you're in a like,
yeah, that's the
yeah,
worship Satan.
yeah, or like Satan worshiping, right? I mean, that goes back to the '70s. But yeah, I mean, I think it's the violence part of it, because if every pit that I've ever been in or anyone else has been in, if you're on the edge or in the middle, the moment someone hits the ground, everything stops and everyone picks that person up. Like there's never been a moment where it's all about, you know, taking that guy's tooth out or anything
Right.
like that. It's you're kind of attached to the people that are in there that are throwing their elbows and everything.
So it's more of like a community. It's
Absolutely.
all as one.
It's,
So
everyone has
all
the
going through the
same.
same
Everyone
stuff.
wants to let it out, you know.
So is it like you're just expressing one of our human emotions, but
Oh, for sure.
most of us aren't comfortable with that one?
Yeah.
You know, we're really, when we get towards the extreme emotions like anger or aggression, which we all have, we kind of pretend that we don't have it. but it doesn't mean, I mean, it's not a bad
gotta
thing.
go
We all have it.
somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And so thanks for the light bulb above my
Yeah.
head. I mean, really, that makes so much sense to me.
But even in that vein, though, I mean, I think, and I think everyone here would agree that heavy metal music has, like, if you strip away a lot of the exterior, it's got a lot of, it's mostly positive messages. It's all
There's
about
beauty,
community
there's
and family. Yeah.
musicality in it.
Well, I really, really heard that tonight. I really did. I mean, with the sound check song and the song that you just did, and it intrigues me. And actually, that's kind of what I'm really just so thankful for you guys coming, because we can bring that to our audience, because there is a lot of misunderstanding about.
Oh, for sure.
Another thing is too is that people, when you play metal, everybody just assumes that you're gonna scream the whole time, and it's like this is a perfect example. Like he yells and stuff, but we can do acoustic. We can convert it to
Right.
acoustic.
Yeah, that sounded awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
I was really surprised. I was a little bit curious as to how tonight's show was going to go, with our first metal band, but that sounded spectacular.
Thank you.
And I really mean that. That was
We were
awesome.
able to shut the screams off. And
Yeah, that was really cool.
So what
And
was the name of
distortion.
that first song that you did? And
The
what
one we
was it
just
about?
did?
Yeah,
That was concerning Nova.
concerning Nova.
So
Yeah.
what's the story behind that?
it's about addiction.
Yeah.
And having to go through
all forms that it takes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, it's not one thing.
Anybody
or the
can
other.
relate to that kind of thing. Everyone's
Yeah.
addicted to their phone. Everyone's
Being able to
addicted to
rehabilitate.
something. You can empathize with that.
Actually, he wrote the majority of the words. That was one of the first songs that we ever wrote together, and he wrote, I would say, 3/4 of it, and just threw it at me and said he really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So then I polished some of the edges and things like that, and it stuck with us. And since those days, Eric and Jake have joined, and you've been in for maybe a year now, and I mean, and it's skyrocketed. So the fact that we're able to reinvigorate some of the older stuff that we did when we first got together is really exciting, because these guys have made it ridiculously
So
good.
you and Roger are like original members of the Earth, and
Yeah.
Eric and Jake came along, or how did that
Yeah.
happen
Nate
exactly?
and we hadn't talked to each other for years. And
Couple
then all of a
years,
sudden
yeah.
We ran into each other at the gas station one day, and I was like, "Hey, man, come over so we can jam."
Yeah.
I'm trying to start a band, and he came over and we started writing.
The only thing we said we wanted to do was we didn't want to just do, just heavy metal.
Yeah.
Everyone, I think the greatest thing about metal musicians and metal fans is their influences aren't just, what you think of, like, the Slayers and things like that, and the Megadeths and everything. I think a lot of people enjoy blues and bluegrass, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
enjoy, some of the
Yeah.
folk stuff and a lot of the old traditional style music, and you can hear that in the new waves of. You're not going to hear it on the radio, but the local scenes that are around, like, there's a lot of really talented musicians that dwarf us. Straight up.
Are you
Yeah.
guys all from Waupaca?
Yeah,
Yes?
well,
I'm not,
I know
Yeah.
Nate is.
I'm
Yeah.
not currently living in Waupaca right now, but
Okay. And where did you come from?
I grew up here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We
I didn't
had
know
a
that.
different answer there. We all were thinking.
Right? Xenomorph.
No, I grew up in Waupaca, and then I joined the military. And when I got out of that, I was living down in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Moved back up here for a year and a half, couple years, and now
Okay.
I moved back down there, but I'm still coming up here to do this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, long
Okay.
distance.
Well, thanks for coming.
Speaking
Where
of
are you from?
Milwaukee, you guys just had
I'm
the
actually
opportunity to play
from the Waupaca area
Summerfest.
too.
Yeah.
I originally
Yeah.
grew up in Florida, and then moved up here.
Okay. Sorry.
Kind of been in the Waupaca, Watoma area ever since.
Okay. Cool. And when you said that, the local places that do metal, what are some of the examples of places that kind of focus on metal? Like there's bluegrass bars and there's, karaoke bars.
Oh man, I mean, there are literally pockets all over Wisconsin. I mean, there's a revival scene in the valley. There's a big underground scene in Wausau. Waupaca has All Kings Fall, who are our friends, with Of the Earth. But then, I mean, there's like Milwaukee has a giant heavy metal scene. Madison has the Back Bar in Janesville. There's venues all over that cater specifically to aggressive music.
Wow.
And I mean, it's mind blowing how many different sounds you're gonna find out of any 4-band set. You hear heavy metal, and I think, like you said, a lot of people on the outside think it's one thing, but you can go and see 5 different bands, and every one of them sounds wholly different than the last one. They just have, an aggressive tone. That's all it is.
Can we talk a little bit about your experience at Summerfest? I kind of try to get on that point, but that's all right. Yeah. Hey, that's
Sorry,
what
Les.
happens when it's
Sorry.
unrehearsed. It's,
We interrupt each
anything
other.
goes.
Summerfest was a blast, though.
Yeah. We had a downpour. Like third song in, straight up downpour.
John
We
and Mike were there.
Yeah, we had some of our friends from All Kings Fall and like family and a bunch of people show up and we opened the day. The Rebel stage at Summerfest is amazing. It's the only independent stage there and it was their 10th year. So we got to open Metal Day with a load of local talent. But I mean, yeah, we got rained on.
Yeah.
We got.
I was standing like a quarter inch of water surrounded by cables.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, and they had the tented
Waterfall
canopy, and it was
monitor.
it was amazing. It was there was a waterfall in front of us, and there were people, and then they scattered, and then there were people in ponchos, and it was great.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
did they have like the whole sound stage set up and you just walk up and plug in?
It's like a tent.
You don't have to
kind
bring
of,
your
like,
own
it's
gear?
all-
It's
Oh
by
yeah,
the
we bring
lake,
our own
right?
gear.
Oh, you bring
No,
your own
it's
gear?
it's a straight up
Yeah.
like
It's
it's
a beautiful view.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, it's they kind of tuck it on the side, but you're right on the shoreline, and it was amazing. It couldn't
Oh,
it couldn't have been more perfect. I mean, they have all the really big, gigantic stages, but you saw a lot of really passionate people by this stage that was about, it was more narrow than the width of this room, and 200 yards away was this enormous stage with like 45 people watching it that could care less if they had a hot dog or if they were watching that person
Right.
cover AC/DC.
Huh.
Did you guys have the opportunity to, check out some other local acts there at Summerfest?
Oh, yeah.
Any that stuck out in your mind?
Oh, there
Yeah.
on that stage.
Well,
I mean,
just in particular,
Well, we kind of hung around the Rebel stage because it was the opportunity to be there. So just the community itself of the local metal scene is pretty tight. So when you're there, whether you're opening or closing, I think everyone it's sort of an unwritten rule. You stay.
Yeah.
You hang out. You glad hand. You have shots.
you kind of man your area type
yeah.
thing, yeah?
Yeah.
That's understandable.
There were a lot of good people though. I mean, Cold Black River was amazing. Ultrea was great. H1Z1 was who Morta Scald. Those guys were ridiculously heavy, but they were cool. It was a good time. Yeah.
So you got another song for us?
Oh, we got a couple more.
All right. Excellent. So
We
let's
promise we won't yell.
let's have another song
it's all
from
good.
Of the Earth.
In the booth. All right. We're doing the Elite?
Yep.
This is the Elite.
You push me. You push me. Push me back. Right now. It really feels like we've been here before too many times. Truly moments of the sordid kind that I abhor, attempted rape of my mind. Oh, we slayed all the simple toys not long ago, buried deep in an unmarked hole. They call for the whipping boy, even though they know I have rescinded that role. So sit yourself down and shut your holy mouth and take care of everything we have to give to you. There's no denying this is long overdue. Yeah, it's overdue. Don't label me the fall guy anymore. I don't wear it well, no. It really seemed to me the lot of you would buy a direct flight if heaven were on sale. Oh, we slayed all the simple toys not long ago, buried deep in an unmarked hole. They go for the whipping boy, even though they know I have rescinded that role. Burn all bridges now and turn your pedestal stand round, I'm always near. Yeah, I'm still right here. With so much to give to you. How much did you expect me to take? Narcissistic, elite and fake. That's right, keep it up. Branding me the monster. What does that make you? You belong as horror. That's right, keep it up. Branding us the monsters. What does that make you? Pseudo-Christian. Oh, you king of. So much to give. So much to give to you. So much to give to you. So much to give to you. I have so much to give. So much to give. So much to give. So much to give to you.
Welcome back to Waupaca Local Live. We have Of the Earth in the studio. They just played us some good stuff here and good stuff. Good stuff.
I wrote it
A
down.
sandwich.
That was The Elite, that last song, The Elite.
The Elite. Yep.
So
Yeah.
Personally, I've been out of the metal loop for a while. I think the last album that I bought was Mudvayne's LD50. That was like way back in 2000. So how the hell has metal changed or evolved in 17 years? I mean, what are the trends in metal right now? You know, 17 years. That's a long time, but not really a long time. You know what I mean?
I know.
Lots more production.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess that's
emphasis on
like, what way
production.
do you want to go with that? You know,
Yeah,
is it the popular stuff or the stuff that's good? You know?
Let's talk about the
There's
stuff
been a
that's
lot of-
good.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the stuff that's good.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of genres that have splintered off. I mean, Mudvayne was kind of in the new wave kick,
Yeah,
which
new
stemmed from
metal.
industrial metal, Marilyn Manson era metal, so that got that a little bit of that flair. That sort of spawned more of the progressive metal, which is kind
Yeah,
of
now
stuff
it's
that
just prog.
I'm
metal
into, and
Prog
now
and
they just add a lot of jazz influences, a lot more musicality,
Yeah.
and way more
Yeah, that's
How many layers of metal is there? Because I know you got.
God, you don't want to get into that
Yeah,
discussion.
there's people, you could get a degree in some of that, man.
And you'll get people
way
fighting
into it.
about it, and people get
Yeah.
pissy about it. I mean, for the most part, everyone is all cool, but yeah, you
It's
know,
pretty much just metal.
in the end, you
know
gotta
metal
stop
when you hear
labeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are distinct, borders to a degree, but when you get into subgenre of subgenre of subgenre, it
becomes
just
like literature.
It's like mud. It doesn't matter anymore. It
Yeah.
really makes no difference.
I
But
guess that's a good way of putting it.
But I agree with you totally. I think the musicianship, like since, in the 80s it was sort of Metallica and Megadeth defined what like the sort of orchestrated metal could be. And then, yeah, in the 90s it got a little, more chuggy. But since then, I feel like it's gone in so many different directions. If you're looking at Europe, or if you're looking at like Russia, or if you're looking at, America, there's a lot of technical stuff happening. And I think it's beyond the days of, Ozzy biting
Heads
bats
off
heads.
heads.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Do you
way
ever
beyond
bite
that.
any bad heads?
Not anymore.
I hope
No,
not.
not
No,
anymore.
I got sick once.
Sticks to rats and small vermin.
Right, yeah. I like chocolate. Bring me chocolate.
So let's take a step back in time about the origin of metal. I mean, that's also debatable. You know, some people might say
No, it's not.
Sabbath. Okay, what would you say? You know,
Sabbath.
people say Sabbath. Some people say Hendrix. Some people say Cream or the Kinks.
It's
What do
all
you
the
guys
same.
The Kinks, really?
It's probably.
Yeah.
I think. Go ahead. What do you say?
Oh, I don't know. I would go with Sabbath for metal. The Beatles kind of started rock. It's
Yeah.
it's one of those things.
But-
People pull from
Yeah.
so many different influences.
Yeah.
You know? It's hard to say who started it.
It was kind of in that era. I think people were kind of one-upping each other. You're right. Sabbath were like the Godfathers, but
Right.
when you say Beatles, when they did Helter Skelter, they
Right.
did that to one-up the Who.
Yeah.
You know.
right.
So in that age, and then you look at the Doors, and no one did stuff that was dark and like kind of brooding like the Doors did, and like 5 to 1 is like the epitome of like the hard rock song. But you've got the Doors and Sabbath, yeah, and Zeppelin. I mean,
Zeppelin.
Cream, yeah, Cream, Ginger Baker, that guy was an animal.
A lot of it too that drives it is the relationship between the bands, which is why it's so
Yep.
cool that All Kings Fall is here, because what drives a sound is, you know, the people you surround yourself with. You're only going to be as good as the people you hang with, you know. Like,
Right.
if you don't
You know,
surround yourself with people that
Not
appreciate
to
the
be
same
weird,
things.
but the thing is we see that in the bluegrass community too.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
It's a
I mean,
community.
Oh, yeah.
there's
Yeah.
probably
Music
15
exactly.
bluegrass
It's just a huge
bands in our
community.
area, and they all play at each other's bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
'Cause
And they
it's
go
a
out and support
community.
each other.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Bluegrass is amazing.
Then
I love
there's always
that.
that one band who's got their nose up in the air.
Yeah.
I won't
That's
say
anywhere,
what band
no
it
matter
was,
what-
but
no
they
matter
didn't want
what
to
you
have
do.
anything to do with us.
Yeah.
It happens.
It
But those
happens.
people are also eventually weeded out because there's more strength in community
It's
than
their
there
own,
is
man.
in
That's
pat
their
yourself
own
on the
deal.
back.
Like, it's way more fun to have a bunch of your brothers show up to
just
some
made us
random
Yeah.
show you planned like 2
Yeah.
days. You know, it's cool.
All right, so that's the funny message I think we're getting tonight is that metal is all about community.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Family. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what it's about.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So-
Especially when, like you said, it's sort of like one of those underground genres that it's hard to
Right.
break out of. You know,
Right.
it's not that, it doesn't sound like it, it's not that far away from hip hop, though. You know, they've kind of been categorized
Careful.
together. Hey.
All right, so what I want to know
Careful.
is when did everybody
we
start
cut that
playing?
out?
What age and what year?
This is live, right?
Yeah, it is live, remember. So what was your instrument when you started getting interested in music, and what was your life like? Did you take, you know, guitar lessons, piano lessons?
man.
And what advice do you have for young people, and I'm saying like 5th, 6th grade, that kind of envision themselves not being in the sports loop, although you could be in sports too.
For sure.
But I'm just saying, you know, thinking about our town, Waupaca, and what we need for our youth
Yeah.
is something
Yep.
other than sports.
I
Absolutely.
think Ozzy was a
addition
hell
to
of a hockey
sports.
player.
Was he?
That's good to have.
That
a
doesn't,
outlet.
I don't think England has hockey.
I don't know the on ice.
All right, so let's start with
What do
you.
I know?
I started playing in 8th grade actually with school band, believe it
Okay.
or not. And
Drums?
they wanted me to be on piano and do all these different things. I said, no, I want to play drums. So I started there, and then I started taking lessons at a music store to learn the whole kit from Dale Kobleski from Sirius Black and Mr. Funches. They play locally here
Yeah.
still too. But he's a hell of a guy. Awesome drummer, great guy. He pretty much got me on the path of teaching yourself.
Okay.
You know, I would say to young people, the best thing is just milk school for everything you can, because
Okay.
it's free. It's a resource that's available
That's
to you,
true.
and you learn so much so quickly. Even though it might seem boring, you know, but a lot of that you learn there, it follows you.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting for the more you know start.
That's right.
Across.
So
Way to go, Jake! Yeah.
guitar is something that there's always a lack of guitar teachers. Did you take from anybody, or did you just learn on your
I
own?
started when I was 11 years old. My brother had a guitar, and I'd always sneak in his room to go play it. And eventually, my parents they just bought me one and see if I would stick with it. I went to one lesson and said, I don't want to do it because this guy's not teaching me what I want to know. He just
Okay.
kept pushing like songs at me, like just here, learn this Linkin Park song. It's like, no, I don't want to play that. So I went to one
Appropriate
lesson. I
for the
said
day,
no,
right.
and then I just buckled down. Instead of going outside and playing with my friends or whatever, I sat in my room and listened to Korn and whatever, you know, Mudvayne and whatever, just a ton of stuff. And I just sat and learned it, you know, just
Okay.
picked it up. And my advice would just be, if you want to play or make something of yourself in music and playing guitar or whatever, is you have to buckle down, just do it. You know, either whether you take lessons or whatever, if you want to learn how to do it, you have to practice.
Yeah, there's no
Otherwise,
shortcuts,
it's-
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not gonna-
Time
I'm
no
still
matter what
learning.
you're
I've been
doing,
playing
just
for
put the
20
time
years,
in.
and I still learn something new. I wouldn't say every
Oh
day,
man,
but
in
a
the
lot.
last 3 years, you've gotten exponentially,
I mean-
like, just mind-blowing.
What about you, Mr. Bass?
Mr. Bass.
They told me to call you that.
He was told to learn bass.
You want to be in the band, you play the bass.
I started off wanting to play guitar, and that was back like middle school, freshman year and whatnot, until I started listening to Iron Maiden and Rush.
Yeah.
And then that's when I found out, oh, that's bass. And then that's all I wanted after that. So I started playing, and I'm completely self-taught.
Wow.
I would print off tabs for bands and whatnot, and then that's how I learned how to play, is by learning other people's songs that I liked.
Awesome.
And then since I've joined this band, that's also helped me
He's got
become way better too.
Wow. And Nate, what's your story?
With vocals?
Or your music journey,
Yeah.
really?
When I was probably in 3rd grade, honestly, the first thing I ever bought was the Ghostbusters soundtrack, and that blew my mind. You can
Ray
keep
Parker
that in.
Jr.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, they ripped off the news. Anyways, after that, I bought Faith No More, The Real Thing, and Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. And since I can remember, I always gravitated toward words. And then I discovered the Doors when I was in like grade school at some point, and that just changed everything for me. So like the idea of poetry and, flow and just, yeah. I mean, everyone here has said everything you can possibly say about music. It's not about shortcuts and cutting corners, because none of us here are masters of a craft. It's simply like we're continuing on a journey to try and figure it out as we want to express like what we feel is necessary. So yeah, I mean, you find the right people, you find the right influences, you figure out, you look at what the successful people do, and what do? They take care of themselves, they stay healthy, they practice, and they warm up, It's not about, yeah.
And they have fun.
Yeah, and they have fun, right? Like the days of like the 4-day benders and crap like that, it's just no longer, it doesn't count anymore, Like you will get away as quickly as,
They talk about the guy like Monkey from Korn. He's like, if you do drugs like all the time, don't even expect to get anywhere, because that's not the way it is anymore. Like people used to do a ton of drugs in their VIP room, and now you go into a VIP room, there's like a bowl of fruit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, when we were recording our EP, we were joking about how we all had bananas and protein bars to exchange, and where was, because isn't that supposed to come with the rock and roll thing, right? No.
Maybe
I'm
some of
pretty
that
sure
is
I'm
actually a myth too. I
It
don't
is a
know.
myth. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What? I'm giving up being
Sorry,
a rock
Wes.
star, man.
This is your last show on Waupaca Local Live. This
All
is
right.
Wes signing off.
You guys have one more song for us?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's have another hand for up here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey. All right. We wrote, we good? Yeah? We wrote this one about All Kings Fall. We wrote it about us. We wrote it about All Out Mutiny and Iron Price. This is a song about the community that we were just talking about in the interview. This is called Lords of the Underground. Thank y'all for coming.
Dragging memories out through the fields.
Yeah.
Psilocybin keeps my vision fat and real. Craving the wine that drip past from my veins. a mile when the backwoods is our home. Gave a whole lot of blood and sweat and just about every bit of our soul when we are asked to provide a sacrifice of a kind. We don't mind, that's what keeps us whole. Over and over we pay the toll. Wiser and stronger, we break the mold. We are the lords of the underground. Sometimes you've got to dig down just to look up. So raise your glass to the underground. Oh, let's hear it. Coming down, coming down. Yeah, that's when you look up. That's when you look up. You have got to look up. Money banks, sing to the people. Yeah, yeah. We're the lords of the underground. Sometimes you got to dig down, just look up. So raise your glass to the underground. Whoa, we've got to be rough.
All right, well, that was Of the Earth, and that wraps up another show of Waupaca Local Live. I'd like to thank Of the Earth, Nate, Eric, Roger, and Jake. And a big thank you to Josh Warner, Chris Johnson, and Wayne Netzler, and especially my host.
Merci beaucoup. Yeah, and thanks everybody. Thanks to our wonderful studio audience, the best one so far. All right, so we'll be back next month. Check our Facebook for the
Waupaca
broadcast.
Local Live.
Yeah, Waupaca Local Live for the broadcast times. And just our final word is our public service announcement that if you stop using straws, you can save the earth. So you can order your cocktails without a straw. All right, so thank you for coming. We'll see you next month.
I hope you enjoyed it.